If you were to ask me what is the hardest job in a primary school, I'd be inclined to say a head teacher, obviously. If you were to ask me what is the hardest job in a primary school in relation to the pay you get, there's not even a competition. It is definitely the Senko. My hat goes off to every Senko in a school because I look at that job you do and the workload that goes into it and genuinely just don't know how you do it. Don't get me wrong, it is an incredibly rewarding job, and I think it certainly takes a special type of person to undertake that role in a school. I'll tell you now, I won't be cut out for it. But I've been reading this article about just how burnt out and isolated Senkos are. The fact that not many staff feel able to do it. 3/4 of Senkos in North Birmingham have changed over a 2-year period. Morale is low, turnover is high, less and less time is being given due to funding cuts. The number of teaching vacancies mentioning Senko or related terms soared from 37,000 in 2018 to 73,000 in 23-24. Every school is legally required to have a designated Senko, but it's revealed that some schools are waiting 18 months to get hold of somebody to fill vacancies. And obviously the job of a Senko has always been challenging, always been difficult, but it seems to be getting harder and harder and harder, especially when we're making reforms to make mainstream schools more inclusive, which is a move in the right direction. Inclusion is so important. That can only be done with the right support and funding, not just expecting Senkos to take on more and more and more. Now, this shocked me a little bit because in my school, large 2-form entry primary, our Senko, who is amazing, who is going above and beyond, the workload she has is unreal, is doing that job full time. She doesn't have any teaching responsibilities at the minute, which I think should be the case in every school. But more than half of Senkos reported having teaching responsibilities on top of their role. 2023 poll of nearly 550 Senkos found 17% were given half a day or less per week. The recent NEU State of Education poll, 2/3 of Senkos surveyed said their workload was unmanageable. A Teacher Tapp survey asked 400 Senkos if they expected to be in their role next academic year. 1 in 10 said no, another 14% said they were likely to be but would prefer not to be. Because the workload is just completely unmanageable. On top of that, you seem to be fighting a losing battle of a Senko. You can't do right for doing wrong. You just feel like this isolated, helpless go-between where you are desperately trying to help these children get the right support, provision, but may well be hitting a brick wall with the local authority and the waiting lists and the time it takes. Also trying to help and support the parents who are also desperate to get that support. Obviously, Senkos are there to try and help those children with specific needs to get the right provision in place. But I've had messages from Senkos who say that so much of their time is being eaten up by parents whose children don't necessarily need the support, and that time is then detracted away from children who do. And I was surprised by this. I thought it was a given that a Senko in a school is on the leadership team, senior leadership team, which is recommended by the Senko to practice. But a Teacher Tapp survey found that just 43% of secondary Senkos were, compared to nearly 3/4 in primary. What needs to change to make sure Senkos can do their job effectively, but also make sure it's a job that's sustainable to do and we don't lose more teachers to burnout? It's been suggested that protecting Senko time is key to solving a lot of the problems, making sure Senkos are on the senior leadership team and that they should be paid on the leadership scale, and also suggested that it should be more of a whole school approach to SEND, not just everything always falling on the Senko. As I said at the beginning of this video, nothing but the utmost respect for Senkos. I think you do an incredible job, even though a lot of you probably think you're not doing and you're failing. A lot of that is outside of your control and you are doing the best with what you can do. And for any other teacher watching this video, please go and check in on your Senkos. Just go and see if they're doing all right, if they need a bit of help with anything, because like I say, it is such a tough and in often ways isolating job, and we need these incredible educators to carry on doing this job to make sure they are helping and supporting some of the most vulnerable children in our care.